Aleppo demonstrate against the armed groups, and a terrorist hideout explodes in Saraqib in Idlib countryside. Jabhat al-Nusra terrorist group target a mosque in Homs. And Syrian Arab Army units continue operations against terrorists, killing many of them, including non-Syrians. Good afternoon, this is News in English from the Syrian Arab Television in Damascus. The national campaign to press charges against Saad al-Hariri and Oqab Saqer after revealing their involvement in funding, arming and recruiting terrorists in Syria kicks off in Tartus city.
The activities of this campaign included a signature petition to file lawsuits against al-Hariri and Saqer, and the Bar Association will submit them to the United Nations Security Council and other international organizations. The families of the martyrs and those who were affected by the terrorist acts and the lawyers of the city participated in the campaign. The participants organized a solidarity gathering at the government square to express their appreciation for the martyrs and to condemn the armed terrorist groups' practices against the citizens. After showing the striking evidence of his role in arming and funding the terrorist groups in Syria, Saqer held a press conference in which he behaved in a hysterical way, accusing all of the world and the mass media, which exposed his involvement in killing innocent Syrian people, as stupid. The Syrian people watched the press conference, which gave more evidence on Saqer's involvement in killing innocent people through the terrorist activities. The terrorist massacres in Syria are morally and religiously condemned, and they have revealed the criminal mentality of the Western terrorists and the agents in the region, such as Saqer and his master al-Hariri. The Syrian people will not tolerate those who are involved in the shedding of their blood, and the conspiracy against the Syrian national unity and stability will be foiled thanks to the awareness of the Syrian people.
A unit of the Syrian Arab Armed Forces killed terrorists belonging to al-Qaeda-linked Jabhat al-Nusra, who terrorized the locals and vandalized their properties in al-Husayniya, Hajira and Aqaba farms in Damascus countryside. An official source said that a car equipped with a heavy machine gun and 3 cars which were carrying weapons for the terrorists were destroyed on al-Husayniya al-Ziyabiya road. The source added that units of the army killed several terrorists in the area between Sayyida Zainab and Vegetable Souk in al-Hajira and destroyed their dens. The source added that the Syrian armed forces restored security and stability to the farms surrounding Aqaba after inflicting heavy losses upon the terrorists there. In Saraqib, Idlib province, a den used by armed terrorist groups was blown up, with the terrorists, ammunition and weapons inside it, killing scores of the terrorists, the majority of which were non-Syrians. An official source pointed out that the explosion of the den took place as the terrorists were preparing explosive devices there. A unit of the armed forces destroyed a gathering of Jabhat al-Nusra terrorists on the road to a sand village in Talbise, Homs. A source in the city said that a number of cars, some equipped with heavy machine guns, were destroyed, with the weapons, ammunition and terrorists inside them. Earlier in al-Insha'at, a neighborhood in the city of Homs, while citizens were performing Friday prayers, terrorists belonging to Jabhat al-Nusra detonated an explosive device they put under a Kia car near the mosque. A source in the city said that the explosion caused the injury of 15 people and huge material damage to the nearby buildings and cars. And in Aleppo, a unit from the Syrian Arab Army carried out 2 qualitative operations against gatherings of terrorists belonging to al-Qaeda-linked Jabhat al-Nusra in al-Sha'ar and al-Ansar areas, inflicting heavy losses among them. An official source said that the 2 operations resulted in killing a number of the terrorists who were perpetrating massacres and intimidating civilians. In Mhardeh, the countryside of Hama, a unit from the Syrian Arab Army clashed with terrorists who tried to attack the innocence and law enforcement forces of al-Zillaqiyat town. A source in the governorate mentioned that the clash resulted in the elimination of a number of terrorists, in addition to the confiscation of automatic rifles, pistols, military offensive grenades, and various kinds of ammunition. In Dar'a, a clash for money among members of two terrorist groups in Khirbat Ghazali resulted in the killing of and injuring of a number from both groups. A source from the Interior Ministry said that the fight happened between the terrorist Ammar al-Ammour, the leader of a terrorist group, and his brother from one side, and on the other side a number of terrorists including Khalid Dewi and his brother Mahmoud Ahmad al-Nazir, which belonged to Jabhat al-Nusra of al-Qaeda. They were fighting about distributing the money which was sent to Ammar from abroad, and he did not share it with the other terrorists. The source added that the clash resulted in the killing of Muhammad al-Dewi and the serious injury of his brother, in addition to the injury of Ammar al-Ammour and some of his brothers. Another terrorist explosion hits Al-Mazda residential area in the Mazda 86 neighborhood, as the maintenance workshops, in cooperation with the citizens and residents there, started repairing the damages resulted from the attack.
Few hours after the terrorist explosion which targeted Al-Mazda 86 neighborhood, people there in cooperation with the maintenance men all helped in returning life back to the neighborhood. Despite their grief on the martyrs and the wounded, they refused to stop their lives. A terrorist explosion inflicted huge material damage as the maintenance workshops rushed to the scene and started the operations of rebuilding the infrastructure in the neighborhood, in addition to repairing the power lines and the water pipes.
They are terrorist acts made by the traitors who are unfaithful to their land. We will stay fixed with our homeland, and we are all martyrs whatever they do. Since the early morning, the maintenance workshops start fixing and repairing the damages.
As you see here, they are working, in spite that it is a holiday. But nowadays, we have no holidays. We all have to work hard and to help each other.
Terrorists think with their bloody minds that they can affect the Syrians' morale, while the Syrians together assert that they can crush terrorism and its projects.
Iranian Fars news agency said that Qatar has assembled two separate 67-member groups of terrorists from Pakistan and dispatched them to Syria in the last 2 weeks. In a report published today, the agency pointed out that since the onset of the crisis in Syria, Qatar was involved in spreading terrorism in the country through recruiting Salafi terrorists from across the globe and dispatching them to Syria. The agency said Qatar recently dispatched two groups of terrorists to Syria across Turkey to join the armed terrorist groups in the country, in what is deemed to be a tight rivalry with another terrorist groups backed by the Saudi Arabia. Fars News stressed that during the last few years, Qatar has started using its large gas and oil revenues to interfere in the affairs of the Arab and Muslim countries, as it interfered in the crisis in Sudan and Yemen, and in the internal affairs of Lebanon, Egypt, and Syria. Turkish newspaper Yurt said that members of al-Qaeda are manufacturing chemical weapons in a lab near the town of Gaziantep in Turkey and are threatening to use it against Syrian civilians. In an article, the newspaper said that al-Qaeda is manufacturing poisonous gas in this lab, as shown in video published online showing the process of manufacturing this gas using chemicals procured from a Turkish company. The newspaper wondered how al-Qaeda members came to acquire chemicals used to make poisonous gas from a Turkish company. With this, we conclude our news for today. For more details, you can visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Stay with us after the break. Khalid Saqabani has the latest in economy.